Grab yourself a fun drink and we're gonna yap because I'm about to do the recap of my entire marathon. Hi lovelies, I just ran my first ever marathon and I wanted to share some things that I learned from the experience. Because honestly, nothing really prepares you for 26.2 miles. One of the first things that I would change is my vest. I used like a hydration vest, and while it did help me carry a lot of items that I would not want to give up, it did end up feeling pretty heavy over time, and I noticed like a lot of the other runners didn't have a vest. In hindsight, I do think that a belt would be better, or even like a shirt that has the pockets. I saw a lot of people with those and I thought they were really unique. Another big thing was my headphones. I wore Beats, and yeah, I love my Beats. There's nothing I would change about that. I did my entire training block with Beats. I didn't have a problem with them. A lot of people complain of them being too heavy, but honestly, I didn't really notice anything until people started just asking me about it. During the marathon, and especially towards the end with the high mileage, I really wish I had had something lighter, maybe even open ear, like hovering over the ear. I also just started to feel kind of uncomfortable with the heat and the sweat. I mean, it's literally just trapped under my ears, so. Fueling was another learning curve that I had for sure. Within my vest, I had a total of 8 gels that I was gonna use. I didn't end up using them all because along the course, there was so much other stuff that you could use. I did get different flavors, but honestly, I got so tired of the texture so quickly. I was choking them down. Basically, moments where I forced myself to take them, that kind of set me up for failure because the fact that I had to choke them down, I was starting to not look forward to the upcoming miles because I knew I had to take a gel. In the future, I would definitely want to mix it up more, like maybe some gummies. I've heard that Rice Krispie treats are a really good thing. I would totally look forward to Rice Krispie treats. One thing that I did love was my hydration setup. I had a element in my running vest in the bladder that was attached into the back of my hydration vest. I liked being able to control what I was putting into my body instead of relying on the sports drinks that weren't necessarily the best for you along the course. I know some people enjoy Gatorade and enjoy Powerade, but for me personally, I don't really like using those kinds of things because I know the ingredients in them and I know deep down they're not the best form of electrolytes. My outfit was also a win. I wore shorts with built-in spandex. I felt really secure and comfortable because I didn't have to worry about like pulling down my shorts every 10 minutes or feeling like I was exposed or having my shorts ride up. Like they stayed in place and I had no problem. There was actually no chafing at all. One tip, you do not need to buy an anti-chafe stick. $4 deodorant from Walmart. I applied that to my inner thighs and absolutely no problem with chafing the entire race. I had problems with chafing during marathon training, and my first time ever trying deodorant in between the thighs. First time ever was marathon day because I was like, I really don't want to chafe. Another thing that made a big difference was my Garmin watch band. Solus sent me 2 new watch bands right before the race. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was like maybe 3 days in advance. See, it's got these like holes. It's breathable, so you're not getting like sweat irritation underneath. And it's magnetic. So as you can see, it literally, boom. Like, another thing, I took walking breaks. And I really want to say this clearly. Walking is not failing. Walking helped me stay mentally strong, and honestly, if I hadn't walked, I genuinely don't think I would have kept going. I needed those moments just to reset. Like, I hit the worst mental block at mile 16. So I took a walking break, and if I hadn't done that, I genuinely don't, I'm scared of what would have happened. Like, I don't know if I would have completed it. I walked out of the race, but guess what? I still finished a marathon. That alone is something to be proud of. You can walk during a race, but you're still finishing the race. Walking does not define it. And another thing I would say is probably one of the most important things that I did, and it's like not even like what anybody would think because I just somehow got the opportunity. I use the Rally app, where your friends and your family can send you voice notes. My friends and family recorded voice messages for every mile. Voice note would play within my headphones at the mile that they decided to choose. And you get 1 minute to talk and just basically cheer them on, motivation, prayer, inspiring quote, whatever you want to say within their headphones, it's gonna be played. And like I said, around mile 16 is where I hit a really hard mental block. So hearing that like familiar voice completely shifted my mindset. And it just reminded me that I wasn't doing this alone. And finally, I used a muscle recovery roll-on. As many of you guys know, about 3 weeks prior to marathon, I started having issues with my IT band / like runner's knee. During the race, I used this roll-on. It is called Lake Roots Elixir. I'll put a picture of it so you guys can see what it is. I absolutely love it. It's actually hometown created by one of our family friends. Genuinely, like, I am so strong on the fact that that is why I finished. Without that, I probably would have been in pain. Anytime I started to feel a little bit of an ache, I would reapply it, and I was able to keep going. I ran 26.2 miles pain-free. Overall, this marathon taught me so much, not just about running, but preparation, mindset, and I already know I'm taking all of this into my next training block.